going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. Micro Mike, and today I'm going to talk about the many scenarios that the Lions can do when it comes to the NFL draft. Now, before I get into the video, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what the hell? Go ahead and do so. Hit the bell for all my notifications and leave me a comment and tell me what you think is going to take place on draft day. We have so many scenarios. Also, this is my last video for about a week and a day. Possibly, I will be on the cruise, and so I don't believe I'll be able to make videos or go live or anything. And so this will be the last video. But if I do be able to, hey, great. But if not, it's not that I quit YouTube. It's I am on vacation. So let's talk about these scenarios that could be taking place. First, we got to talk about what pick we're going to be. Are we going to be 5, 4, 3, or 2? When we lose, I feel like we're definitely going to lose against the Green Bay Packers. It will automatically at least put us at the 3 spot. Now, if the Washington Redskins win, and you never know, crazier stuff happens, it moves us to the 2 spot. If they lose, we're stuck at 3. And then obviously you got the Bengals at 1. If the Redskins are at 2 and the Lions at 3, we have many scenarios that can take place. Now, I'll go straight first with if we're the second pick. If we're the second pick, in my opinion, we got to take Chase Young. I just feel that he would be an impact player for us, rushing the passer. I know some of the DSA folks disagree with me. That's just my personal opinion if we're at 2. If he is there, take him. The reason I don't say we take a quarterback is because Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia, were told that you have to be a playoff contender, and if you take a quarterback to develop, that's not an immediate impact player that they're going to need for this defense. And I'm pretty sure we go confident. I'm confident we go defense with that first or that second or third pick. So if we are at number 2, I don't want to trade out. I just want to take Chase Young, call it a day, and be happy. Be happy that we got an impact player. A lot of people worry that maybe he can't transition well to the NFL. Look, I've seen a lot of tape of this guy. He is a disruptor. He is a beast. I feel he would be great opposite of Trey Flowers. I understand we do a 3-4 instead of a 4-3, but we honestly don't even know what the defense is going to look like when it comes this offseason. There's going to be changes made. And in my opinion, if he is the best player available, whatever defense you run, you just take it and make it work. He is an impact player. He can rush the passer. He can put the fear in quarterbacks' minds, and that's what I want. I want a blue chip player like that, like what we used to have in Ndamukong Suh. I felt like our defense was just a little more ferocious when you have that type in there, and we do not have an impact player like that. It would free up Trey Flowers. It would help out the interior as well. Take Chase Young if we are at 2, for sure. Now, if we were at 3, there's many different scenarios that can take place. First off, does the Washington Redskins take Chase Young? They do need a left tackle. It's well known that they need a left tackle. Their left tackle did not play all year. He doesn't want to play for the team anymore. He's not going to be on the team, and if he is, he ain't going to be playing. So they're going to need to take a left tackle. That they could take it later in the draft. Perfectly obvious if they felt like Chase Young's that impact player they can't miss, of course. But if Chase is at 3, you take Chase Young. You just do it. Now, if they take Chase Young, in my opinion, there is so many scenarios that Bob Quinn can do. First off, we can go ahead and take a player right there. I know some people like Isaiah Simmons. I like Derek Brown. I think he would be a great player for us in the interior there. 316. He's a big fellow. It would help out Snacks Harrison, Trey Flowers, the defensive line, and build in the trenches. That would be the guy, if we stay at 3, I would take. Because he would be an immediate impact player. He instantly would start from day 1, and that's what Bob Quinn is looking for. And I feel like that would be just a great pick, in my opinion. I like Derek Brown. I like the big guys. I like the big, nasty guys. And that would be a good pick if Chase Young's gone, in my opinion. They could go, just like they said, they could take Isaiah Simmons, the safety, somewhat of a linebacker too, because he's a hybrid. He can play both. You can go that route. You can go Okudah. The reason I don't believe that they're going to go Okudah, because it's a cornerback, and I think Okudah's a great cornerback. I think he'll be a great one in this league, no doubt about it. But it takes some period of time for corners to transition from college to the NFL. It took Darius Slay 3 years to do so. And again, I think they need an impact player right then and there. If they had more time with the team, they could take a quarterback like Tua or a Herbert. Again, in my opinion, they're not going to do that because, again, it's an impact player they need. So another scenario that initially, months ago, before I even really looked at the draft, I said, no way, you go ahead and you take the player at 3, you take the impact player. But now when I look at the draft and how many offensive weapons are going to take in this first round, I always suggest the idea of trading back if you can trade back. There is a lot of wide receivers that's going to be taken in the first round, probably up to 9. I mean, more scenario 5 or 6, but that's quite a bit. You're going to have a lot of quarterbacks. Could be 4 taken in the first round. You could get a running back. That's a lot of offensive weapons, and we're not even talking about the left tackles. So that's going to push defensive players back. There's going to be quarterback needy teams that's going to want to get a Herbert, that may want to get a Tua. They may want to jump up and get that quarterback of the future. And if that's the case, we can trade back a couple spots and maybe pick up another first-round pick or a high second-round pick. If Chase is gone and they feel they can get an Isaiah Simmons or a Derek Brown with a couple spots back, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Let's get another possible first or a second-rounder. Let's get aggressive in this draft. If you feel you can get those players a couple picks back, let's do it. Let's do it. I would love that. I think that would be a fantastic idea. If a team is willing to mortgage their future because they want that quarterback, by all means, give us the luxury, give us the picks, and let's have a good time doing so, for sure. And that would help out the team. Turn around, you get another pick up a defensive lineman with that first pick, or a defensive end, or Simmons. Turn around and get another defensive back, a safety, maybe in the later of the first rounds or upper in the second round, and get a guard in the second round. I think that would be a fantastic way to go in this draft. In my opinion, the reason I don't want to take an offensive player in this draft is I just feel like if you take the wide receiver, he's not going to be the Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones. He's not going to be on the field every single down. If we're going to take an offensive weapon, I want that weapon to be on every single down. And in my opinion, the defense is what's lacking. You're going to have Marvin Jones come back. We're going to have Kenny Galladay. Probably Danny Amendola gets re-signed. We still have Marvin Hall, who did really, really good as the number 4. If we want to go guard, I think we can get a really quality guard in the second, third, fourth rounds. You can definitely go that round. Remember, we got Graham Glasgow in the 3rd round. I feel you can do that. There is quality picks. You can get those guys in different rounds. If they wanted to go left tackle, I think I'd be begrudging about it. I wouldn't be super excited about it. I would understand it because obviously protecting the quarterback. In my opinion, I still think we could get a left tackle maybe in the later first rounds if they wanted to do that trade back scenario. So in my opinion, with that first pick, wherever we pick, I feel like we got to get a defensive lineman. I truly, truly do. If they want to go linebacker and safety, I would not be upset about it. I just feel like we got to get pass rushed, in my opinion. And that's the scenarios I see taking place. Now, we really got to pay attention to what's going to be taking place in free agency, what they do there. They may go heavy with the defensive lineman. They may go heavy offensive lineman. Not 100% sure. I feel like this offseason is going to be really one to pay attention to and to get more talent on this team. And obviously, looks like our coaching staff is going to be coaching in the Senior Bowl, so that'll help out with that as well. But I'm super excited for the draft. I'm super excited for a free agency. In a week or in a couple days, we'll find out exactly where we're picking in this draft. Then we can finally kind of bring down the scenarios of what's going to take place. Unfortunately, I can't tell you until I get back from vacation. So I can't wait to get back to talk about the draft scenarios and get this bad boy going and continue to build upon our team. So with that said, folks, again, tell me what you think you want to do, what you think they will do. That is difference between what you want to do than what they will do. What's better for the franchise going forward? Tell me your thoughts. With that said, folks, adios.